Welcome to the Estate Expectations Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Pickle. Thank you so much for tuning back in to the Estate Expectations Podcast. I'm so happy you're still here. I know it's legalese, and who wants to listen to a podcast from an attorney? You do. You want to listen to a podcast from an attorney because we're going to make this fun. We're going to make this interesting. We're going to be sarcastic. We're going to be humorous, but we're going to give you some really good information and education that you can use to empower yourself and to protect your legacy and do all the adulting, and so today I want to talk about, it's kind of an offshoot of estate planning, and I call it legacy planning. And it's going to encompass brand building and building a business as well. And I was just having a conversation with a team member the other day. And she's a phenomenal copywriter that we have at our firm, Mindful Counsel. And she writes my blog posts. And she said, Liz, she goes, I'm kind of trying to understand the differences and the similarities between estate planning and legacy planning. You know, really, what is legacy planning? And I just thought, well, number one, this is why we love her so much, because she's so thoughtful, and she just, didn't assume that they were kind of two in the same thing. She understood that there's a delineation there between the two, and there certainly is. And so what I want to say about legacy planning is that legacy planning really involves going beyond assets, going beyond your physical stuff and your monetary assets. But your legacy is going to encompass your values, right? Your stories, your life stories, all the adventures that you've had in your life that you want your kids to know and you want their kids to know, your grandchildren to know. And what about the impact that you want to leave behind? That's your legacy plan. And it goes beyond, as I said, it goes beyond the money and the finances. And for most people, and I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you, when the family comes to the table after the passing of their beloved, there's a conversation about the money. I'm not going to lie. But it's the stories. Remember when Dad said, Mom told you that piece of pottery that you want, she told you where to find it, right? Or remember when we went on this vacation and Grandpa said this, that, and the other. And it never resonated with me the way it resonates with me right now. It's the stories, it's the human assets that build your legacy. And so there are some types of wills that are referred to as the ethical will. And we have a blog post on our website about the ethical will. And it's not a legal document. It's merely setting forth your hopes, your aspirations, your dreams of what your family will do with their new founded, type of generational wealth, what your expectations are, what your intentions are around creating the estate plan, why you are setting up a trust for your grandchildren. What do you want them to know? What do you hope for them? What do you desire? What wisdom can you impart on them? That's the good stuff. That's the stuff that matters, and that's life-changing, okay? So I think that everybody thinks, leaving your legacy beyond financial assets denotes being charitable, And absolutely. Um, we at my firm at Mindful Counsel, we have built this brand, um, Mindful Counsel, and part of our mission is to practice law differently in a non-fear-based manner, and to provide hope and support for various charities in our community. We have a fantastic new vice president of community outreach. And so we're doing a lot of charitable events. And so, we not only is Mindful Counsel a law firm and a business that services clients, but we're also very charitable. And we want that to be part of our legacy, that we were able to contribute to the community and or individual needs, the needs of individuals, the needs of businesses, and support them in a way that aligns with our mission. And so leaving a charity, passing on family traditions, and of course, supporting your local causes is all part of legacy planning. And if you have a business, it's also part of your brand building as well. And so, why is that relevant? Well, as an individual and a business owner, you have a reputation, right? You have a reputation to protect. And so you want to make sure that, once again, everything that you have worked so hard for to bring to life, that it endures. It endures time, and it continues to evolve, even perhaps when you're long gone. Continues to impact the community in a positive way. And it teaches the generations after you the importance of giving, of charitable intent, and just, doing some damn good things in the world for people and other organizations. And so that's legacy planning in a nutshell. And so I guess I want to give you some examples of how individuals and companies have really used legacy planning to align with their brand and their values and their missions. And the top players, if you will, the first one that comes to mind is Walt Disney. Walt Disney has created quite an empire. It's definitely changed and evolved over the years, but he had obviously an incredible vision, and I think that the continuity of his vision is still in place. And essentially what he envisioned was to build this entertainment empire, theme parks and his beloved characters and his commitment to storytelling and the imagination. And that lives on through Disney's ongoing success. But he had to create a plan. He had to create a business plan, a business succession plan, and hence his legacy plan. In order for that business to follow through and continue with his core values, right? Can you imagine if he had built this incredible entertainment empire and didn't do any of the planning around it to protect the business assets, the intellectual property? We see he's probably one of the most infringed upon the Disney characters. We see a lot of infringement with the Disney characters on copyright issues and such. But he did his due diligence to plan appropriately for this incredible brand. And then, of course, one of my other favorite brands is Patagonia, and we always My family and I always refer to them as Patagucci, because they're a little pricey. And so we used to joke around and call them Patagucci, but I'll tell you, it's kind of disappointing because I can't justify purchasing any more Patagonia ski jackets and ski pants, because the original pair that I've had for many, many, many years is still in perfect condition. But in any event, I don't recall the founder's name, and I apologize. I should have looked that up. But he's obviously made such an environmentally friendly and sustainable, products, and he really believes in the corporate responsibility with respect to the environment. And so his mission has always been to give back to the environment. And so his legacy plan has just solidified Patagonia's brand as a leader in the sustainable outdoor apparel. I mean, the bar none, you can't argue. He's the king. He's the king of the sustainable outdoor wear. And one of my favorite brands, always imitated, but never. What's the saying? Never replicated. Again, very, very much a victim, if you will, of trademark infringement. He's always battling trademark infringement with his brand. So he's clearly done some really amazing things and continues to do so. And then, of course, Oprah, she's another major brand who has created a legacy, from her name. And, she started off as a news anchor, and then, just propelled to this incredible talk show talent. She's interviewed everyone. She's talked about every subject, every topic. She's done a lot of good things, and she can be controversial. I get that, but we cannot deny that she's extremely charitable, and she's done a lot of really good things. But her media empire and her philanthropic efforts has just, again, solidified her brand as a not only a media mogul, but as a humanitarian. And so, I know I'm throwing out these really big names here and these really, huge corporations and companies, but you can do the same. And it doesn't have to be on this level. It doesn't have to be on Patagucci's level, right? Or Oprah's level. There's a business and a mission and a story that you have that you want to build. That can turn into a legacy. And so these are just some really heavy hitters in the industry that I wanted to point out, to emphasize, how businesses have these reputations and legacies to protect and enhance. And so, what are the long-term benefits of aligning estate planning with brand strategy? I think that the one thing to keep in mind is that a strong legacy and a strong brand can really lead to continued support and loyalty and positive associations with your business. And so, we've tried to do that with our business here, with the law practice, to step beyond, not just the practice of law. It's very important what we do here. We don't take it lightly. Our clients come first. They come before anything else. But we want to leave a very powerful legacy. And we want to shape and change the way people look at law firms and look at lawyers. And so Mindful Counsel was born. And, this, I think, allows people to really get to know us, to know what we stand for, that we're just more than a law firm, And there's this like, know, and trust factor, right? And so the brand is very powerful. It's something that people recognize on an ongoing basis. And there's just this bit of clout that comes along with your legacy planning around your brand and your business. You're respected and you're trusted. Because I won't lie, it takes a lot of time and energy and effort to build a strong, powerful legacy and brand. And so, what actionable steps can I give you to incorporate your legacy planning into your businesses? And I think that number one is to come up with your core values. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I was told by business mentors and my business coaches, do you have your core values? No, I don't have my core values. I'm busy. I have other things that are more important. No. Your core values are your North Star. They're your guiding light. They're the lighthouse that blinks in the fog. Seriously, your core values are where you want to start in your business. And once I had dialed in the core values from Mindful Counsel, it all became so much clearer. And can those evolve over time? Absolutely. Your core values should evolve and progress over time because your business is going to evolve. But I would start there with, and how do you come up with the core values? That's a good question too. Document your personal values. What are the things in life that are most important to you? What are your personal values that you would like to carry over into your brand and in your business? I mean, that's exactly what I did. Compassion, legacy, intention, mindfulness. These are all the things that are part of our core values. And so when you start to incorporate those values into your business takes on a whole new life. You start to show up every day at work with those core values in mind. You treat your clients with those core values top of mind. And you never forget why it is you're doing the thing that you're doing. It really does become your story and your purpose. And as long as you have those dialed in, you can withstand any storm. And I truly do believe that. So I hope that is helpful. I want to tease a little bit of our future episodes coming up, give you a little bit of a preview of some topics that we're going to delve deeper into in future episodes. I think that in this day and age, digital legacy and digital planning is really very important. We'll talk a lot more about philanthropy. I'm a big fan of philanthropy. I haven't gotten to this place where I'm at right now alone. I've had a lot of people help me along the way. And I think it's really important to give back. We're going to talk more about developing your personal brand and how to protect your personal brand with intellectual property. Blended families is another really favorite topic of mine. It's super important to be intentional how you plan. If you have children from prior marriages, stepchildren, really popular topic. And another one that I think is going to be fun to talk about is estate planning for digital nomads. People who have this digital nomad kind of lifestyle with no fixed residence. And that was really popular during the pandemic. But I have family members and I have a lot of friends who are still living the van life. And I think that's amazing. But you still need an estate plan. So I think that would be a really fun topic to have some guests come in and talk about. The role of art and collectibles in estate planning. Art and collectibles are treated very, very specifically. And we're going to try to get maybe a local art appraiser or collector who has done some estate planning here and maybe in Old Town. So yeah, those are some things that I would like to bring to you in future episodes. Again, if you have any topics that you would like to hear about, please reach out to me at support@themindfulcounsel.com. We'll try to include that email link in the show notes here. But for now, I want to thank you so much for listening to this podcast, Estate Expectations. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and keep writing your legacy story.